Hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we will be discussing about the stack data structure. That is right. Stacks are basically common data structures that exist in programming. And it is important that we get to understand how stacks works and how to implement a stack using our favorite programming language, JavaScript. And without further ado, let's dive in. So in this video, like I mentioned earlier, we will be implementing a stack. But before we get started on implementing a stack using JavaScript, I think it is important for us to understand what stacks really are on the very high level. So in JavaScript, there are different data structures that exist. And in the last couple of videos that I've done, we discussed about objects and arrays. So an object is a data structure and arrays are also data structures in JavaScript. Now, you are not limited to just arrays and objects. There are stacks, there are queues, there are trees, there are graphs. These are all different data structures that you can implement. And for stack, from the English meaning, it's basically placing items on top of each other. So the first time I heard about stacks, I was a bit confused because I already know that stack is an English word. And apparently stacks can be used when you refer to things that are placed on top of each other. For example, in the kitchen, you place plates on top of each other. So you have like a stack plate, you have a stack books. So you have like first book, you have second book, third book placed on top of each other. And for me, that was basically my understanding of stacks. And I was expecting it to be quite different from, what it is in JavaScript. Interestingly, it is the same thing. So stacks in real life is the same thing in JavaScript. So the way stack works is the stack implements or follows the last in, first out rule. So basically what it means is that stacks, the first becomes the last and the last becomes the first. What do we mean by this? Let's illustrate this using a diagram. So let's say we have a plate. Let's imagine this to be our plate. And this canvas is basically, let's say our kitchen or our table. And you have your plates and you want to stack other plates on top of your plates. So what do? You place the new plates on top of your plates. And then to stack the fourth plates, you do the same as well. Same for the fourth, same for the fifth, and so on. So basically you have these 5 items stacked to each other. And remember, when we are placing these items, this came first, then this, then this, then this, then this. But the way stack works in JavaScript is that when we want to access our plates, let's say we want to access the third place, the way we have to do that is we have to first of all access the last plate in the stack. So basically, since this is the last plate, it comes out first, and this comes out second, this comes out third. So basically, you can see that our last place ended up becoming the first place to come out of the stack. And this particular analogy is what is used in the JavaScript runtime. So to implement a stack using JavaScript, we can use 2 different approaches. The first approach is using the arrays, And the second approach is using a linked list. And for the sake of this video, and for the sake of my audience, and for my own sake, I would like to use an array because implementing stacks using arrays are way much simpler than you ever think of. So to implement a stack using an array, you basically do something like basically just call. Okay, let's see. Let's do something like this. Let's create a class. I'll call this stack. For this video, we'll be using classes to, create our data structures. So things like stacks, queues, trees and graphs, we'll be using classes for that. And let's create our constructor. And in our constructor, we have, let's create these dots. Let's see. Let's call it stack array. And for this, because we said we have, we implement the LIFO principle for stacks, we need to implement different methods. So we need to implement the insert method, or let's just say the insert method. So for it to insert to stack, and then we have to delete, right? Or let's say pop, or remove. Let's say remove. So remove method. So since we now have our insert and our remove methods, let's implement our insert method. And to implement insert method, it is as easy as just passing the parameter and calling this stack array push. And once you call that, you pass in your parameter, which is value. And for remove, you do something similar, but a bit different. So all you need to do is just to use the pop method, and that's how you implement your remove method in stacks. And I mean, it would be cool for us to identify the length of our stack. So let's create a property called length, and we do that by checking the length of our array. So do this the stack array dot length, and each time we insert, we should increment by 1. And each time we remove, we should decrement by 1. So this is basically our stack. For the sake of this tutorial, or for the sake of this video, we'll be implementing just these two methods. That is the insert method and the remove method. And these are like the two most important methods, stacks. So since we have our stacks ready, let's create a new instance of our stack. So let's use a plate. Let's create a new instance called plate, and using the new keyword, create our stack. And to add to our new instance, that's the plate instance, we use the plate dots insert. And let's insert, for the first, let's insert the ceramic plates. And let's duplicate this. And the second, let's add the stainless plate. And the third, let's add a clean plate. So first we add plates that are made of ceramic, then plates that are made of stainless, and then plates that are made of clay. And once we're done doing that, let's view our stack. So run this, and look what we got. We have our length as 3, and then we have our stack array as ceramic, stainless, and clay. And let's try and let's use the pop method, or let's try and pop out of the array. So since we've already inserted, let's use remove. Let's remove an item from the array. And we do remove, let's go remove, and we call plate. And you notice the array removes the last item from the array, or from the stack, basically, not array, from the stack. So remember we said that stacks obeys the last in first out rule. So which means that in stacks, the last becomes the first to leave, or first to be removed, or first to access, and the first becomes the last. And that was the case here. As you have seen, we noticed that we added a clay as the last item, and we called the remove method, and automatically it removes the last item in the stack. And yes, that is basically how stacks are implemented using JavaScript. And it's also important for us to note down the people of different operations we perform in stacks. And if you had noticed, because it is last in, first out for the operations inserting and removing, we have the constant time operation. So basically, we didn't have to. So because it is the last in first out, it means that all we need to do is just access the last item in the stack, and when adding, we just add to the stack. So insertion is O of 1, removing or deletion is also O of 1 in a stack. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned what a stack is and how to implement the stack using JavaScript. And I also hope you learned about the big O of the different operations that you can perform using stacks. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.